All right, if you're just joining, we're laying on our back with our soles of the feet together, knees apart, all right? Arms above the ears, kind of reaching to the back. So remember, guys, this is gentle yoga, and our goal is to kind of be kind, a little bit softer on the body, heal, repair, recovery, restore. Okay, so we're here, just taking another couple deep breaths. And remember, as I go through the practice, just make it your own. Listen to your body, have some fun, throw in some extra movement stretches that you need. I encourage that, okay? Now, big inhale here. And eventually, we're gonna bring our hands on our outer thighs, maybe assist the knees back together, maybe release the legs for a moment. So if you remember on Saturday, I taught gentle yoga in a way where it's adding yoga to your morning walk. Now I'm going to do adding yoga to your, waking up in the morning in bed. Okay, so we're going to bring our knees into our chest. So say you wake up and you woke up early. You don't have to get right up out of bed, right? So you give yourself a little squeeze here. It can be your first kind of movement of the day. Okay, kind of rolling out your ankles, just getting a little blood flow through your toes, ankles, shins. And then you can take a nice couple circles with your knees. If you're just joining, we're just doing a nice kind of, let's call it a morning routine here. Even before you get up out of bed, you can do a few exercises, all right? Left leg can release, keeping the right knee into the chest. Notice I pull the right knee a little wide, and then I bring it back toward my right armpit, because that's going to help avoid some of that pinching of the inguinal hip and the rib cage, okay? Big inhale, no rush, right? We're going to slowly bring our left knee in, our right leg forward. I even roll my ankle. My ankle's a little tight. I've been jogging, so I'm adding a little extra ankle rolling. That's just for my body today. I don't always do that. Good evening. If you're just joining, we just did a little kind of starter pose with our inner thighs opening with the soles of the feet together like our butterfly. And now we're kind of doing this nice lower back and hip stretch. Okay. And then we'll bring our knees back into our chest, give it a tighter squeeze. So again, we're relating yoga to waking up in the morning. So you do a little kind of compression for your hips, a stretch for your back. Now I'm just going to do a little bridge here, placing my feet down beyond my sit bones. You can do this right in bed. Press your arms down, lower back down. Let's lift those hips. And remember, let's make it a gentle bridge, okay? We don't always have to force everything. Nice lengthening of my core, squeezing my pelvic floor. Take 2 to 3 more breaths here. Big inhale. We'll lower down. And watch what I do. I kind of windshield wipe my knees. First time doing this. This is fantastic to do in the morning. Really open up those hips. Get a lot of blood flow through like the rotational quality of those big joints. And then, so that's rotation of our hips. I want to take it into rotation of the spine. So I bring my knees back toward my chest. I'm going to scooch my hips to the right and then let my knees fall to the left. I can reach my right arm out, bring my left hand on my right thigh. We just call this a nice symmetrical kind of reclining twist. I can actually reach my right knee kind of over my left knee, stacking my shins and knees more for a bigger twist. Take just 2 to 3 deep breaths. Big inhale. When you're ready, we'll come back to center. This is actually a big step too, so take your time. We'll scooch our hips left and knees right. So first big spinal twist of class. So remember, I'm stacking the knees, shins if I want more. Left arm reaches out to the left, and I do want to look to the left and breathe. All right, big inhale, please. When you're done there, back to center. 3 last things, all right? So one more bridge. You can feel like after the big twist, the rotation of the hips, rotation of the spine, nice little tightening up, right? So arms down, hips, feet down, hips lift. So second round of the bridge, we're not doing anything too fancy, just kind of lifting those hips, closing our eyes, breathing. All right, so we're gonna bring our knees, the hips down, knees into our chest. I wanna give our one gentle moving abdominal strengthener. This is from physical therapy. The next 2 exercises are straight physical therapy, really great for preventative care as well. I wanna bring the knees over the hips and the ball of the feet are start touching and my arms go to the sky. I do wanna remind you, my palms are facing each other and my lower back is pressing down. That's the main thing, guys. You know, when I'm working with someone personally, I keep trying to push my hand into their lower back to see if there's lifting there. So I want to press that lower back down. That is the active part. As I inhale, my right leg and left arm go in opposites. So it is opposite leg, opposite arm, right? Exhale, neutral. Remember, push your lower back down to involve that core, okay? And I would like you just to do, you know, maybe about 6, 12 per side at most, and breathe. Remember, it is inhale that creates the length. That creates more kind of that abdominal thoracic pressure for strength. You know, think about like if you fill a hose with water, it's like thicker and stronger than it would be if it was empty, right? So the water, especially as you like breathe more skillfully, it makes that stronger. So we're using the breath in a way that creates more strength in the body. So inhale as you reach forward and back. Exhale is for that neutral reset, okay? Remember, you can do this ab exercise first thing in the morning when you wake up, right? You don't need to be warm for this. So all these exercises are kind of meant just to say, hey, if I want to do an exercise or 2 in bed, here's a few that are great. Now, I want to do our hamstring stretch here. Last thing, so they kind of do relate. You're going to bring your feet down and shake it out. And this last thing is not easy. You might need a towel. I did a warm up earlier, but we're going to bring our right knee in and see if we can now grip behind the hamstring. So again, that's easier said than done. So some people take a hand towel or a t-shirt and you kind of wrap it around the thigh, right above the knee here. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, bend the knee and point the toe. We're going to exhale, work on straightening that leg. This is not easy. We're going to flex the foot and see if we can pull a little bit. Okay, so then we're going to inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Okay, now yeah, you take your time though, like to feel it all, and pull, and you know, it's tough. You're gonna feel this one big time. Okay, and again, it's just one round, about 6 to 12 on this side. Yeah, try to keep your head down if you can. And remember, this is like an active reciprocal inhibition, so the engaging of the thigh and the flexing of the foot, straightening that knee is going to create the stretch, the release of the back of the leg, the back of the knee, the calf. A lot of places to feel this, all right? Yeah, so Laura, you look like you're grabbing your ankle. You must be pretty flexible, so you can do it like that. I can't really see your whole body, but that's a little bit more of the kind of advanced version. You know, eventually they do it where you're just kind of grabbing your foot, kind of like here, just grabbing your foot, okay? All right, let's do our second side to finish up our reclining series. So when you're done there, left knee in. Oh, by the way, this can be done first thing. If you have back pain, remember your lower back muscles are the same muscular line, superficial back line, as your hamstrings. So when your hamstrings get tight, it does tighten up the lower back. They are literally connected there. So inhale, bend, and exhale, straighten. And this is one of those things that a lot of rehab and physical therapists recommend for that kind of condition, okay? But you got to slow it down, guys. You got to work on flexing that foot, straighten that knee, and pulling. And then you inhale, bend, point the toe a little bit more, the knee comes in. And as you exhale, goes away from you, you straighten and flex. Try to notice, is one leg a lot tighter? Oh, we're always trying to gain more information, insight into the conditions of our body, the imbalances, the compensations. That's what we're here to do, learn about ourselves and to hopefully make ourselves feel a little bit better, class by class, right? All right, now I'm going to kind of leave that up to you. You guys are kind of in your own little meditative practice there. And what I want you to do after that is to kind of just neutralize for a moment. That could be windshield wiping. That could be, shaking your legs out a little bit. I even like to do this thing. I teach it a lot. It's been a while, but I kind of just knock my pelvis off the floor. See how I lift my hips in a bridge, and then I kind of just, bang the sacrum against the floor. It's like you're getting a massage and someone's kind of giving you a little love in the end there. And my last thing, just to kind of neutralize here on the back, you're just going to release your legs. So think full body stretch. I want you to reach those arms beyond your ears. Okay, and really just stretch it out here on the back. See if you can inch your right heel forward, feel it in your right side body. You can either bring your upper body to the left a little. And then I'll inch my left heel forward and stretch my left side body, kind of alternating. Even point my toes and flex my feet. Okay, and you're kind of at your own pace there as well. We're going to eventually make our way off our back. So if you're comfortable, hamstrings, and notice what I do. I rock, but I do try to do this skillfully. I am trying to massage my back a little bit. Okay, notice I'm not exposing my spine. You can't really see it, but I'm keeping the muscles down, the shoulders down, so the muscle takes the floor, not like the bumps of the spine. All right, let's keep going here, guys. Let's swing it around, come to our tabletop. And this, little cat-cow, if you'd like. Inhale, arch back, lift chin. Exhale, round spine, tuck chin. Don't forget to add a little bit of side to side, a little bit of kind of dance, artistic-like movements. The body likes a lot of kind of fluid, free movements. If movement gets too linear, too symmetrical, not good, right? The body's really never like that in life. So if we only train it to be symmetrical, it's not functional. We do want symmetrical training as a foundation, safe zone, always working asymmetries, alien air, outside of that. Next pose, downward dog. So here's our first big one on the arms. We're gonna go a little bit longer tonight, about 30, 40 seconds. Let's get up in there and stretch out our feet a little bit more. Notice the hamstrings feel more open from our recline and hamstring work. And let's take a few breaths here. Press the palms down. Lift those hips up and back. Try to straighten those elbows by engaging your tricep. A few more breaths. Try to shake your head a little yes and no, right? Get the neck going there. Yeah, exploring your body. Make it feel good, but also a little bit of work. Yeah, some of you are getting personal. I like to see it. It's okay to come to class and just use the group time to, do your own practice. I really don't mind. All right, nice job there. Now, I do want to stretch out our ankles, and I know this can be tough for a lot of us, all right? But let's try our best here. I will drop to the knees, and I'm going to try to bring my knees and feet together, and then boom, I'm going to try to sit right back onto those feet. In yoga, this is called like stone or earth posture. It's one of our main meditative postures. Okay, if you're feeling good, you want to go back a little bit more, you can. But again, first thing is just getting some weight on those ankles. All right, let's take a few breaths here. If you like a little extra, we can add a twist, sitting upright again, right hand behind, left hand outside the right thigh. So second twist of class. Okay, and then back to center, twist to the left. Last few breaths here on the ankles. Big inhale, please. Nice job. Get off of those feet. What I like to do is I just kind of knock my feet down a little bit like that. Yeah, just kind of tuck my toes. All right, and now we are going to go a moving twist. So we're kind of in the more kind of dynamic motions of class. So we're going to go moving twist into thread the needle, inversion hold. So we're going to alternate sides to sides here. Regulars, you know it, we do this a lot of classes here. I want to start tabletop and bring my knees a tiny bit wider than hips width distance. And I even bring my hands a little closer together, okay? I'm just going to inhale, reach my right arm out and up. Exhale my right hand back down. Look at the slow control here. Inhale, left arm up, open. Exhale it down. Just notice my head is kind of following the arm. Exhale it down. And see if you can get, again, it's like 6 to 12 per side. Close your eyes now. Feel that core. Feel the back. Squeeze the pelvic floor. You know, don't force anything. You can make it easy. Try to open that chest. Anytime we're bringing the arm out to the side and back, it's a pectoralis major reciprocal inhibition. So we're opening the chest front, like rolling your shoulders back a little bit, okay? Strengthening your back muscles. Now, the next part I mentioned is the thread the needle. Common gentle yoga inversion. The right arm goes up and open, and then with that right arm, this time, you thread the needle. So I get low, right arm underneath left armpit, shoulder, arm, head down. Okay, notice I reposition my knees. I close my eyes. And then you kind of just let the drainage, the blood, go into the brain. So you're here. Again, I'm just adjusting to get comfortable. Nice deep breath. Okay, big inhale, please. And nice and slow, left hand presses, right arm up. I like to even pulse my arm open. A little more strength there. And then take a moment, you kind of shake out your wrists. Wrists are coming soon. Right hand more in the center. Nice inhale, brings my left arm up. Just preparing for our second side. Thread the needle. Just holding the position, letting the blood flow move toward the left side of the skull here. And no rush, yogis, okay? Push through your right hand, left arm up, open. Again, I like to give it like 3, 2 pulses in that range, and then I'm back down. Now, if you want to add anything like a push-up or a plank, you're more than welcome. I'm going to skip it tonight and just bring you right down to your chest. But if you want to hold a little plank, beautiful. All right, let's go for our back stretch here. You know, we did the active bridges. Now it's a little bit more of like a passive stretch. We prop ourselves up on our forearms, Sphinx. I point my toes to the back. If it's tough, what you do is you just kind of bring your elbows in under the ribs more and you're here. Just that little lift. And if you're feeling good, you go here. Eventually you go towards more cobra, which is on your hands, but no reason to force. Drive your pubic bone down. Let's pull our chest forward and up. And now I want you to think a little bit more stretch, okay? Where I point my toes, lift the core, pull it forward. You can relax it now. A little bit longer, good minute and a half or so. So go into a meditation with your breath. Try to relax where you're tensing. Engage for more support where you're too relaxed. Create length through your toes and your crown. Sphinx is one of my main postures that I use when my back hurts, and I know that seems almost counterproductive. Like if your back hurts and you get the Sphinx, it's gonna say, whoa, that hurts, right? But usually the reason my back hurts is because I'm like sitting too much. I go on a really long bike ride, back might hurt sitting. So I gotta bring the body into that kind of counterbalance, more straight legs, more extension of hips and spine. And it really does the job. It takes time for the body to get used to that, to throw it into the opposite postural pattern once it's stuck in a certain postural pattern. So just remember that little food for thought. Sometimes you gotta push into extension when the body curves from overflexion. Sit, okay? Good job, yogis. Take your time down to your chest. We're gonna press it back to child pose. Take a moment there. We won't hold too long because we already did this stuff on our back. And I do want to give you one more stretch here. A lot of active stuff in the beginning, okay? So we're going to slowly come to seated and shake our legs out. So this stretch is kind of like a pigeon or a figure four. They're all in the same category there. Nice outer hip, kind of IT band, glute stretch. So I'm going to teach what's called the Sukhasana. Now it is the bilateral, so it's two-sided. In the beginning, remember we laid on our back and we let the knees kind of just hang open. These two seem similar, but they're actually quite different. Now, notice I could take my blocks under my knees. A lot of people, including myself, this is like my tightest yoga stretch. I'm better at splits than I am at lateral rotation. So if you're like me and this is really limiting, you could always go blocks. Again, if this is too much figure four, lay on your back, thread the needle. You're gonna flex those feet. Notice how I just walk the feet out away from each other and I'm more crossing my shins, okay? Not my ankles. I wanna try not to do this or this. I wanna really set up a lot of intention there and cross those shins, okay? We're gonna take that big inhale. Let's sit up. And then from here, we forward fold. And again, I wanna try to work on spinal lengthening. So I wanna pull my chest a little bit more forward, press my outer edges of my feet down, and start to bring the chest forward down over the inner shins. Okay, a few more breaths. In the end, you can start to let the head hang heavy. Okay, big inhale, please sit up. Please shake it out. We're gonna do this side, one shoulder stretch, and then we're gonna come up for our standing yoga where we'll do our wrists, our neck, and our balance. So the left shin in front, so this is what we mean bilateral, so it's twice through on both sides. So we're gonna flex those feet. Just notice another good kind of look here. If I look down between my thighs, there's like a triangle, my thighs and my right shin. So if I bring the shins too far back, there's none of that, you can see. So you gotta walk the shins parallel to the front of your mat arms, okay? Sit up tall, big inhale, you know what to do. Press those feet down, lengthen the spine. Good 30 seconds or so. The nickname in yoga is Sukhasana. Sukha is the bringing of ease. Supposedly this posture relieves suffering, okay? So you want to maybe remember that next time maybe you're stressed out about something, right? You just take Sukhasana, okay? That's why they've been naming, the yogis named it, because it brings ease into the mind and body, okay? Now dukkha is the opposite, that's suffering. All right, so big inhale, guys. Very nice job. So we are gonna do our shoulder stretch. Now, instead of doing the open one, we did a couple things like that already. I wanna do the straight extension variation. This is when we have to just, pay attention, listen closely. The feet start on the floor bent wide, and my hands start behind me. Now, if you got sensitive elbows, maybe not do this version, because my arms are like straight here, and if you hyperextend your elbows, kind of they over straighten a little,
wait for the second variation. So my fingers are a little wider than my hips. Hopefully you can see, yeah, a little bit wider than my hips. They're spread facing behind me. Now watch how I get into the stretch. My hands don't move. I use my feet to kind of lift my butt forward toward my heels. And I look forward, look. I walk my feet forward, okay? I bring my butt forward. Now, go to a place where you're starting to feel a little bit like, whoa, uh-oh. And then from here, press your palms down a little bit and kind of take a deep breath in the upper chest and just lift your chest a little. Okay, now say, that's not feeling right or something. There is another one. But in this one, what we do is rotate our shoulders medially. So my hands go behind me, but my fingers are forward. And in this one, I want to bend my elbows. So same thing. Don't let your elbows go out. Hug them back around like you're trying to touch them together behind you. Use your feet to move your hips forward. Bend the elbows more, but lift your chest a little bit. Okay, so I am gripping my fingers a little bit. I'm bringing my hips forward, bending my elbows. Then I'm lifting that chest a little bit as I let the weight go down. Last few breaths. This is an anterior delt stretch. It's the front shoulder muscle. A lot of those vertical muscle lines. Say you're doing like that yoga where you're doing the push-ups, the chaturangas, your arms are forward a lot. Right there in the front of the shoulder, we get what's called muscle cording. That is not easy to undo, but this is a good way to start, yogis. It's going to lengthen that muscle right in that overused line, okay? Let's slowly sit up. Take a moment. Now roll out your wrists. Now we are going to make our way up. If you want to do it in the yoga way, we kind of come to yoga squat for a moment. Don't be shy to use your blocks or even sit on a block. Okay, just a kind of in-between pose. Already did this a few times. We won't hold this evening. Okay, notice how I'm trying to sit up. Okay, and if you're going to do it in that yoga way, I kind of bring my legs forward. I press through my feet, lift my hips like I'm reaching for my toes. And then, no rush, right? You bend your knees, hands on your hips, kind of lift, lengthen your spine with your core and stand up strong. All right, so let's stand up. Let's loosen up a little bit here. And what we're going to do tonight for our wrists is a little bit more movement-based. And we're going to do our neck too here coming up. They're going to kind of work together here. All right, just give your wrist a good roll here. And actually, let's start in the wrist. So give your wrist a little roll here. Wiggle your fingers, shake it out. Big fan of shaking out. And then our first kind of systematic movement here is where I intertwine my 10 fingers, kind of make a gentle fist, and then I just roll the hands. I roll the wrist. See that? So just kind of think moving wrist maintenance tonight instead of like weight bearing stretching, which we do so more often than not. Okay. Yep. And then now a little bit different here. So I'm here, right? Now watch what I do. I take the grip, I open my hands. See how the heel of my hand, like the base of my hand is together? Now watch this. I turn my hands down. I turn them down toward my hips. I bring the back of the hands together. My elbows bend out and I roll up and around. See that? Back to the heel of my hand. Thumb pushes down and I'm rolling the wrist. See that? So I taught this one. I had like a private yoga session with 5 ladies, and they were all very confused about this one. They all wanted to work on their wrists. they were. I don't know what they were doing. They were going like this, and we kind of just had fun with it at one point. But it's like that. You all look pretty good though. Okay, so shake it out. Now a weird stretch, just quickly. Now be easy. See how I take my thumb? I bring my palm down to my forearm. I take my opposite thumb with the hand, and I'm literally trying to touch the thumb toward the wrist. Now don't force it, right? You don't have to do it all the way to the wrist. But just you're stretching like the webbing of your thumb, right? You're pulling the thumb down away from the index finger. Okay, does everyone see that? Okay, now second side.
That looks very weird, doesn't it? The thumb is a very, there's only one saddle joint in the body, and it's the thumb. It's very unique. And it's a common place where people get like arthritis symptoms and fibrosis, right? And fibromyalgia. So we want to make sure we got to give the thumb and the fingers some detailed awareness. Now just roll the thumb by itself. You see that? Bring the thumb to touch like each finger, bring it back, kind of touch the fingers there, just to kind of work the thumb more isolated. All right, now this next thing for the wrist we've done, it was a couple weeks ago, and I want to revisit it. I want you to think active. This is not easy. We're going to bring our arms forward. And my palms are going to face down. Now watch me here. My right palm goes down to face my body. My left palm goes up to face forward. So you see the opposite? And then I'm going to switch. Switch, switch, switch. Go ahead. And I am speeding it up now. Okay? Do you see that? How they're opposite? Go ahead. Keep going, yogis. In Kundalini Yoga, I had to do this for 10 minutes once. Oh my God, I couldn't even pick up my tea in the morning the next day. It was crazy. So we're only going to do it for about another 30 seconds. So I want you to see if you can go a little faster. All right? Now, remember guys, we're not shaking like this. I am literally using muscle to do it. You see how my arms aren't really moving? I'm just shaking. I'm going up and down. So I'm not shaking. I'm going up and down with the muscle. Last few. Okay, so shake it out. Did everyone feel that a little bit in the wrists and forearms? Everyone feel that? Okay, so listen, I had you doing it like this. I think 1 or 2 years might have been doing like this. That's actually what we're doing next. So that's okay. This stuff's all confusing. What I had you doing was called flexion extension. It's the top of that forearm, and then the forearm flexor is the bottom end, okay? So shake it out. Now, one of my all-time favorite wrist movements and arm movements here, moving into our neck, is here. My arms go wide. My right palm goes up to face behind me. My left palm goes down to face behind me, okay? And then you switch. You know, I never learned a lot of this stuff in yoga, particularly like this one. And I learned this when I was studying myology biomechanics. So when you learn about the spiral lines of your arms, the pronation and the supination, you learn how the arms work throughout your day. It really doesn't get much better than this. Don't forget, this is a neural floss. We're kind of moving the nerve in the neural sheath. Nerves don't really like to be stretched, but the sheath movement is good. Okay, last few guys. Looks good. And then just to take out the strain, now, your pace, right? I don't want to make it too tough. We just did this. I did it for a few seconds. I can feel it in my forearms. Let's just take those hands behind the back and kind of roll those shoulders back. Just kind of looks like this. Okay. Just to kind of open that chest one more time, since we're not doing our big horizontal abduction stretch. All right, so shake that out. Let's release those knees. Now, we're going to do neck movements to start. Very simple, into more compound complex, okay? So just think cat-cow. We'll only do like 3 just to set it up. We're going to tuck our chin to our chest. We're going to slowly lift the chin up, look up. Notice I'm pausing, right? Do 2 more. We're just going to tuck our chin to our chest. We're going to lift the chin up. Yes, it's a neck of the cat-cow. Tuck your chin one more time to the chest. Lift the chin up. One of my yoga teachers here, when we do this, he would say, pretend you're lost and broke and you have a $100 bill trapped between your chin. It's windy out. You have to like pin it to your chest and try to hold it there. Because that's what you're like working towards. Actually, you have strength there, okay? Reciprocal inhibition. All right, now let's come back up. Take a moment. Nice and easy. Watch me here. I look over my right shoulder. I'm not side bending. I'm just looking to the right. And then I'm coming back to center, and I'm gonna look over to the left. Feel your neck, yogis, okay? I'm gonna come back to center, I'm gonna look right. Back to center, I'm gonna look left. So these two are isolated motions, right? Just straight forward and back, very linear. This is a rotational isolated movement. And now what's next, I mentioned complex, is putting the two together, okay? So we went up and down, we went side to side. So put them together, down to the right, up to the left. So if you watch me for a moment, I kind of look down to the right, I look up to the left. Neck maintenance here, okay? Down to the right, don't hunch the body, up to the left. Go ahead. And as you kind of move your head here, I didn't mention it earlier, you want to have the eyes kind of follow suit. So if I look down to the right, almost look down to the right of the eye socket. I forgot to mention when we were doing the cat-cow, as I look up, I almost bring my eyes up, okay? And as I look left with the eyes. So eyes are supposed to follow suit. Just remember that for next time. I forgot to mention it earlier, okay? Now second side, down to the left, up to the right. Okay, let's work on that neck. Let's open it up. Let's not let it get too stiff. Down to the left, up to the right. A few more. You'd be surprised how something so normal, like say you drive a lot, you check your blind spot 1,000 times to one side more, or who knows, maybe you sit at a bar with a friend and you look to the right for an hour and a half only. That will cause extreme neck imbalance and soreness. And it's so like under the radar. So this is what I'm having you do, is just kind of balance out those rotational qualities. So watch me here, yogis, good job there. Just a little lift of your traps. Remember, that's connected to your neck there, up and down, up and down. They call it shoulder shrugs. We're just doing it to loosen up here. Okay, and I will have you do one neck stretch to seal it all in, is the nice side stretch. We're gonna bring up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. Don't forget our posture and our body, and our right ear goes to our right shoulder. If you want a little bit more, you can bring your hands behind your back, intertwine your fingers, bring your hands over to your right side. Okay, squeeze your elbows together, palms together, and right ear, right shoulder. Okay, a lot of muscles there. I don't want you to hold too long. The neck's not used to this hyper range as much as it is as twisting and looking up and down. Okay, back to center. Hands over second side. If you have your hands behind you, remember palms together, over on your left side, waist behind you, elbows closer together, left ear, left shoulder. Take a few breaths here. Close your eyes if you can. Feel your body. All right, guys, so I'd like you to finish up there. That kind of, we did our wrist and all like different ranges here, running up through the shoulder and the elbow into the neck and traps. And now we're gonna bring it back down. So just to loosen up the abdomen and the core, before we take our balance, one of my all-time favorite movements, if I had to pick a few, I just kind of swivel the hips. Remember, this is like a big hip circle. In essence, you are basically doing this. Okay, but it's bilateral. It's also called what's called closed chaise weight bearing, how your legs are designed to work. Legs aren't really like open chain, really, right? They're rarely off the ground in normal life. So doing the open chain more in the upper body, closed chain, lower body is kind of how our arms or legs are designed. So okay, now make sure you go both directions. It's just like a big hip swivel. In the power classes, you know, I had you start to go really big with this, but that's not really gentle. All right, guys, what I like to do is kind of lift my knees here, but preparing for my balance, shake my legs out 2-3 times, and even give it a little calf raise. Okay, All right, so now we come into a certain section of class, balance. We're going to do 3 rounds this evening, and the first one is very simple. It's just basically standing on one foot, working on things like posture, core integrity, lifting up, not being lazy or heavy, okay? Left foot down first, right foot on the inner shin. If you feel good, you can bring your arms up. Remember, arms up to the sky is a great way not only to build strength, but reduce muscle resistance. There's a big muscle here called your lat, and that can resist your arm's ability to reach up to the sky. So every moment you have those arms up, you are actually releasing a lot of tension in the underarm, okay? I got you on the clock. Let's go about another 30 seconds. Try not to look down. See if you can look forward or even like slightly up on a horizon. The crown is lifting up. Notice your feet. If your toes cramping, try to relax the toes a little bit, okay? Core is lifting, pelvic floor is squeezing. That looks good, everyone. And then yoga, tree pose, the Vrikshasana. Yes, and basically the longer you hold there, you want to get to a little burn. Again, I keep it gentle, but you go until you burn and you take a few more moments there, right? And then take your time, let's release once you feel that burn. And you just do one of these, neutralize. I remember reading an article I saw, the World Guinness Book had the tree pose record at 76 hours on one foot. And what the guy said he did was he says he goes into a trance and it's almost like he's sleeping. And the 6 hours go by and he opens up his eyes. He said it feels like 10 minutes. All right, so see if you can do that here. All right, we're gonna reach our arms up and on our second side, right foot down, left foot on the inner shin. Can you imagine 76 hours on one foot? My goodness. Yeah, it wasn't holding on anything either. Didn't eat the whole time, barely drank, fasted the whole time to break his own world record, actually. Nice, Nelly. If you're welcome to take it to more advanced balances. I have one person going into like a warrior 3, she's feeling good, right? So you be creative, guys. Don't hold back, okay? Especially if you're feeling good. I like to use this opportunity to kind of just work on easier variations, all right? So there's our first, what we call one-legged straight balance. Now I'm going to do a 2-legged balance and I'm going to do a bent knee balance today. So it is a little different. All right, so you're going to shake it out here a little bit to neutralize. In the gentle yoga, we want to learn to balance on our 2 feet with our eyes closed. Okay, so regulars, you know this. Get used to this one. All right, because gentle balance a little bit more challenging than stronger balance classes. Okay, so a little bit more repetitive. The feet are on the line. I want to stand up tall. Hands can go here or here. Now again, lift the crown up. Don't look down. Try to look forward. Now here's the thing. You're on 2 feet. I need you to close your eyes. If it's too intimidating, just step your feet wide. Close your eyes. And you say, oh, I'm good there, right? You step your feet a little bit closer together. I still have the right foot in front of the left foot. Oh, that's not a big deal. My eyes are closed. Okay, I can get a little bit closer. My feet are almost aligned. Oh, I can do that. Then my feet are together. That's how it really starts. But everyone's got to close your eyes and stand tall. You're supposed to fall. That's normal, guys. Yeah, even the most experienced people at balancing, they have trouble with this one. All right, so totally normal. If you can't hold it even for a few seconds, let's slowly open our eyes. Let's take one of those nice releases for the body. So we're halfway through our balance. So you got one more side of this and one more exercise. Left foot in front of right, hands in prayer, crown tall, arms wide, eyes closed. Good 30, 40 seconds, please.
Notice if your shoulders are too tense, the traps, try to relax a little bit, okay? Notice if you have a lot of weight into one foot or the other. Shift a little bit more weight to the other foot. Notice if you can bend the knees a little bit or straighten them. That's tough, isn't it, Nelly? Yeah, just have fun, all right? It's important to remember, guys, that balance is strength. Just like some days you wake up feeling strong in class, or, you know, your muscles just change day by day, and your balance is just strength. It's just going to change how your muscles can fire and stabilize. But don't worry, every time you do it, you do get better, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like that. You don't digress if you keep working. You really keep progressing in your direction. Every time you do it, you do get better, okay? Remember that. Let's slowly release. Really good job, guys. All right, so I promised you a bent knee. Now, I don't usually do this one in gentle yoga, but it is good to balance in the bent knee. Now, let me show you what we're gonna do before you do it, because there's two options. Now, what we're gonna do is take like a gentle chair. We're gonna shift the weight to one foot, we're gonna lift. Now, this is my easy variation. Just notice my right knee is bent. It is a strengthener. Balance of strength. You could reach your arms up if you want. If you want the full version, you do the same thing with the knee. Now watch, I cross my left ankle atop my right knee. So it's like a figure four. So this is the pose, okay? If that's too much, you're here. And you're just gonna hold and work into that challenge, all right? It's only about 30 seconds. Last few breaths. Yeah, with practice, you're gonna be able to sit a little bit lower, but you don't have to, okay? That's it. Good job, Pamela. Good job, Kathy and Laura. Everyone looks good. Okay, now you probably feel that burn a lot more because we were just doing this, standing, and then you take it to this, which is almost similar, so much more challenging, but good to keep adding as we're progressing, okay? Second side, final standing pose, here we go. What's nice too is you get a little hip stretch here too, so. And we already did that Sukhasana stretch, so you're nice and stretched out there. Nice, looks good. Go slow, okay? Strengthen those ankles. Good job, everyone. Yeah. I know it's not easy. And everyone's kind of different, right? Like I said, strength is changing. Some days you'll notice you do this stuff a lot. You can hold that so much longer, but you know, I can tell immediately, whoa, my right hip's really sore. I ran the last 4 days, so I'm really feeling that. I'll do it later. All right, nice job, guys, with your balance. 3 rounds of balance complete. You're gonna loosen it up. And we'll do it like yogis do. We'll make our way back down to the ground, all right? So we're gonna step to the front of our mat. If you got it in you, let's take a sun salutation. So we're gonna take a big inhale and reach our arms up. Slow forward bend, control, inflexibility, putting it all together, right? We're gonna take our hands below our knees and our shins. Notice how I do what's called a half lift. And then I can step back. If you have it in you, plank. If not, down on the knees, taking it down to the chest. Inhaling up into your Sphinx or gentle cobra. Think of it like a big reset. Child pose, unless you're feeling good, down dog. Take a breath or 3 there. Nice job with the standing yoga. So listen, yogis, tonight to end practice, we did a lot of exercise, pretty much covered everything. I want to do something a little different here to end practice. I want to teach you a breathing exercise and then a full body reset and isometric yoga contraction. Okay, so I'm going to sit up here. I'm going to sit on my heels. If you need to sit on a block, feel free, or sit cross-legged. Okay, so what we're going to do this evening is called Kapalabhati. It's one of the main 9 pranayamas in yoga and the 6 cleansing shatkarmas.
It's a breathing method where we pump the exhale out. We do start with the mouth, okay? It allows the air to move free. And what's gonna happen is, as we pump the exhale out, the abdomen strikes against the spine. And remember that the inhale happens naturally, kind of like a spring reloading. So watch me here. Notice I'm trying to have the breath come from the depths of me. I'm not really, it's not like a superficial breath, it's belly, striking against the spine. If you can't really continue, I do want you to do it softer. If you do it too stressful, you can't continue. So I want you to try to do it in a way where you can do it for 1 minute. So we're gonna do gentle 1 minute. You know, we do this for like 12 minutes straight, okay? So it is a gentle variation, even though it can be not easy. So notice how my thighs are, hands are on the thighs, I'm sitting up nice and tall, shoulders roll back and down, okay? Take a nice big inhale to start. Kind of spread your abdomen, big exhale. I will give you a little clap to give you some speed to try to do, okay? So big inhale. Listen, exhale about a quarter, a third of your air out of your mouth, rhythmic. Remember, if you can't continue, you're doing it a little too stressful. Make it easy. Have the exhale come from the bottom of the lungs, the abdomen. Abdomen strikes against the spine. Inhale happens naturally, like a spring reloading. The force is on the exhale. Okay, you're halfway. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Big inhale. Hold your breath for a moment. Big exhale. Close your eyes, just a normal breath. Feel the pulsing energy body. So remember, this is the cleansing breath. If you breathe in toxic stuff, fumes, chemicals that you don't like the smell of, the breath, you could tell, ooh, I didn't want to breathe that in. Right after, right? It's also used when we have a lot of, the mind is racing. You do the nasal one, it brings it out of the head more, not the depths, okay? Now, next exercise here, that's Kapalabhati we just did. All right, so final exercise before final meditation, yogis. If there's anything you want to do right now, that's fine, but I'm going to teach you a specific method from our Kriya Yoga called Yagoda full body connection, okay? So we're going to lay on our back, and I'm going to kind of coach you through this. Now, again, sometimes we do this for about 40 minutes. I'm going to do 5 rounds. And when we do it for the 40 minutes, I've done it twice. You will experience things in this universe you've never experienced before, okay? So I want to give you beginner, approachable starts to this. So you start to learn it and give the body a little dose, okay? So we're going to lay on our back. And now listen closely. What I'm going to have you do is take an inhale in a moment. You're going to inhale about 80% of your lung capacity. You're going to hold your breath, and you're going to engage, as you hold your breath, you're going to engage every muscle in the body for 3 seconds, and then release your breath and all your muscles, okay? And that's going to happen 5 times, okay? So listen closely. Let's start by taking a big inhale. So everyone lay on your back, okay? And a big exhale. So listen closely. Here we go. First round, a big inhale, 80% only. Hold your breath. Engage every muscle in your body without moving. 3, 2, 1. Release that breath and body. Surrender, right? Round 2. Inhale, 80%. Hold your breath, please. Engage every muscle without movement. Isometric contraction. Release breath and body. Relax your face. Remember, making a fist is like bringing your knees into your chest. It is a lot of movement, so try not to make a fist. Big inhale in your nose. Retain the inhalation. Squeeze every muscle in your body for 3, 2, 1. Relax everything, please. Round 4, 2 more rounds. Biggest inhale. Come on, go a little bit deeper. We start with less air. You go full air eventually. Hold breath, please. Engage every single muscle for 3, 2. Relax it all and melt into the floor. And then you got one more, guys. We'll hold 5 seconds. Big inhale. Go ahead. Do it at your own pace if you can. Hold that breath at the top and hold it for 5. Engage every muscle for 4, 3, 2, and release it all. Final meditation. Notice the body. Notice the mind. Notice the breath. And relax your awareness. Final pose, conscious relaxation. And before you exit Shavasana,
Just notice, did the Yagoda or the Kapalabhati breathing have any kind of effects? Yagoda is known for making people really get deeper in Shavasana faster. It helps our body relax. Those last kind of full body contractions with the breath holding. So try to remember that when you're doing your own practice to include that exercise more often. Okay. Any last movements that feel good here, yoga family? You know, wrist, ankles, like I like to suggest. You kind of move your lips, your face, even like lick your lips and swallow. It's all muscular. Some people like to flutter their lips. Okay, roll out your wrist, ankles, anything that feels good. Yeah, and then traditionally in yoga, we just kind of sit up, tuck the chin. You know, it's that deeper kind of attitude practice where we remember what a privilege is to practice, especially around the holidays. Remember those blessings, grateful, humble. All right. And thank you guys for being here and always showing up and all your generous donations. I really appreciate it. And namaste, everyone. Thanks for